All right, we're joined now by Coach Lloyd, Courtney Ramey, and the tournament's most outstanding player, Azuolas Tubelis. Coach, you can go ahead and give an opening statement.
All right, let me look at these stats. I haven't had a chance to do it yet here. We won. I mean, it knocked down, drag out, and had a feeling it was going to be that way. And so much respect for the UCLA program. I mean, obviously, they're going through a lot of injury stuff right now, and but they're resilient, and I knew it was going to be like that. I wasn't delusional and thought, with a couple of the top guys out, that it was going to be easy. And those two players, I mean, Tiger and Jaquez they're unbelievable, and Mick does a great job of putting them in situations that they can take advantage of their abilities and their talents. So it's hard to play against because they really can kind of joystick and control the game in a lot of ways, and we're kind of the opposite of that. We're much more of a free flowing, team where I want to try to have a cumulative effect, in impacting our opponents, and but they're much more, possession by possession, and hard to play against. So super proud of our guys, and I had a feeling we're going to win today. And I was that doesn't matter, but I was watching some of the other games on TV, and there was a few blowouts, and I was like, man, don't even think that, because there's no chance this game's going to be a blowout. This game is going to be a knockdown, drag out to the last possession, and thankfully Courtney stepped up, and I think that was Plan A, right?
Yeah, that was my plan.
Yeah, it was Plan. No, but the footwork. Yeah, it was Plan A. When I tell you, when he hops into his shot, he's unbelievable, and when he starts listening to his coach and does it more, he's going to be even better. So, that's all I got for you.
Okay, we'll open up to questions. We'll start at the front here with Justin.
Justin Spears, the Arizona Daily Star. Courtney, obviously not your best game shooting-wise, though, but when late game, crunch time, what was going through your mind?
Just to make a play. I kept telling myself the next shot was going in. Zoo found me, and my job was to make a play, so I was grateful for the shot to go in.
And then, Tommy, your first win in the Pac-12 tournament this year, you scored 95 points. Tonight you scored 61. What does that say just about the multiple ways you guys can win?
Well, I mean, we're built to play a lot of styles, and it's hard to get in an up and down game with UCLA because they're perfectly comfortable walking the ball up the floor and dictating the tempo, and then they're just so good defensively, it's hard to score on them quick. So I mean, I think it says that we have a group that's built to play in this tournament we're about to start in, and there's no guarantees and you can't make any assumptions, but I like our ability to win game to game. And you know what? I'm just locked into getting home tonight, going to the Union tomorrow in Tucson for anybody that wants to show up for our selection show. I think it's free to the public, so we'll have all these guys there and figuring out what the draw looks like and getting to work.
Here in the front.
Emmett Walter Brisgornia, KUGR Radio. You brought that up. The community, they showed up, they showed out. 416 miles from McHale Center, easily 2 hours difference from UCLA. They drove out an extra 2 hours, and it felt like a home game in there. So what does the community mean to you, and what was that impact like when they were cheering for you? And
Well, I'll let these guys talk about that.
I mean, that's why I came to this university. It was kind of different at Texas. I think this fan base is the best fan base in the country. For them to drive so far and support us in the tournament, why not play your hardest and give your all? So, I mean, it means everything to us.
Yeah, it means a lot, and I'm happy that they can come here.
Second row, Steve.
Yeah, Tommy, the last second shot that they took, what was going through your mind? They had a lot of time left. You just went through another one earlier in the season. Just your thoughts on one?
Well, you had a couple plans. You're up to shooting a free throw, and the first plan was for Zoo to make the free throw, and then we were gonna sub and set our defense, and then try to foul before they got to half court, and kind of win the game that way. And then he missed the free throw, and we told our guys we were up 2. Now we just got to guard. We got to guard, and they ended up somehow with a throw-ahead 3, and it's hard. They're hard in those scramble situations for whatever reason to make sure everybody's accounted for. And they threw it ahead to a kid who I think he'd made a couple threes. Dylan Andrews, I think he made 2 threes earlier in the game, and I mean that's a down down 2, shooting a 3 for a freshman's a big shot, and he let it rip, and fortunately hit the rim and missed, and we were able to come out on top.
Justin on the right.
So we saw Adama and Henry get in the game. What led to that decision?
Well, just foul issues, and 3 games in 3 days, and they're both good players, and I've just they're good enough to be playing at Arizona, but I just had to make a few decisions to kind of tighten up the rotation, because I think tightening up the rotation has helped Cedric, get better. It's helped Pella, get better. It's helped Kylan, get better. Just because there's a little more certainty in their roles. So, coaching. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of give and take, and I love Adama and Henry, and they're going to be great players at Arizona, but we're just unfortunately not able to use them quite enough now. And but I love our 7 guys. I mean, I feel really good about our 7 guys, about the what we can do on the offensive end, what we can do at the defensive end, the versatility we can play with, the different lineups we can play with. I mean, I think it's a pretty impressive 7 dudes.
Second row.
Coach, those 2 guys off the bench provided 8 assists for you, more than anybody else on the team. Can you talk about what that extra playmaking off the bench means?
Well, it's nice. I mean, we're a team that's built on making assists, and it's hard to get them against UCLA. I mean, they don't come easy. And I thought Pella, for the most part, I'm trying to look at these stats here. He might have played his best game at Arizona. He might have had 1 or 2 passes tipped or a travel. That I wish we could have back, but he was able to hit the roll late in the game, and which is a lot of our offensive system is built on passing, and so he has the size to do it, and he did it, and and I think that helped kind of get Umar going a little bit, and help them get in massive foul trouble with their bigs.
I'll piggyback off that. I think Pella made the biggest play of the game by tipping the ball out to Zoo, and that allowed me to get the shot. So credit to Pella.
It's a good teammate there.
Azuolas, you personally made more free throws than the team did the night before, and there were some questions after that game about if that could be an issue. How do you not let misses affect you when you're at the line?
I know. Nothing really affect me. I don't know. I missed a free throw. It's normal. I mean, I'm a basketball player. I'm a human, So.
Yeah, Tommy, you talked about UCLA going through their injuries. You had a couple. Kerr got hurt mid-game, whatever that was. Could you explain that? And when Wallow appeared to have a brace on his hand, affected him maybe a little. I don't know. You can talk on that.
Yeah, I mean, hey, everybody's banged up this time of year. It's just it's the time of year it is, and it's really, really, really hard to play 3 games in 3 days. And I think all us coaches, if we had our druthers, we'd get together and find a way to lighten the load on our players in these tournaments. And in college basketball at the highest level, it's hard to have great depth anymore because there's so much parity. And to ask 6 or 7 guys or 8 guys, whatever it is, to go play high-level basketball 3 straight nights is a lot. And so I think you're going to see more and more of these teams across the country getting guys banged up. And so hopefully there's a way we can kind of all rally around and get together and figure out a way to kind of lessen the impact on the players so teams can be closer to 100% come tournament time.
Second row for our left.
Courtney, 5th year in college basketball, 1st year at Arizona. Talk a little bit about what the decision was to come here and how you feel with the decision made, especially after hitting a big shot tonight.
I mean, I'm happy with the decision. This is the most wins I ever had in the season. Tommy hit me up early in my recruitment. He stuck with me even when I didn't want to answer the phone. I was thinking about other things. I think him and Kerr made it impossible for me not to come to this university. And then just coming here playing with guys like Azuolas and Omar is something that I can't take back and use it in the future.
Front row.
Coach, 2 seasons, 2 conference championships. That's pretty significant. I know you're not a bragger, so I'll ask the players, what does it mean to play for a coach like Tommy Lloyd, considering all that's been accomplished in these 2 years?
I don't even think they were listening.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's what I deal with on a daily basis.
I was trying to get your coach out of bragging about himself, so I was going to ask
wow.
you what does it mean to play for Tommy Lloyd?
He does a good job of just taking attention off himself. He cares about us a lot. He's always going to put us in the best position to win. I think that's the #1 thing that stuck out for me when I committed here is just how much he cares about us and our development. He's a player coach. He listens to us first off. And, I mean, I think he's the best coach in the world right now for college basketball. So he deserves everything that he's getting so far. Azuolas played with him longer than me, but for me, I think he's the best coach for me in my final year of college.
I agree with him.
That's why I love Zoo.
And last one, Mark.
Mark Anderson, AP. You mentioned about the toll on the players, and after the Mountain West Championship today, one of the Utah State players said he'd be in favor of a day off. Would that be a consideration?
Well, I just think that, I think we got to step back and, research is so much better now and it was back in the days. Just, how often are high-level athletes playing 3 basketball games in 3 days, and whether it's at the pro level or the college level. And you do it in your MTE tournaments, your preseason tournaments sometimes, and you do it here. But I think we could all, it would be more beneficial to the players if whether, I don't care if it's 2 games and a day off than a final or a, quarterfinal day off, something like that. I think would be beneficial and it's worth looking at, But again, hey, it's one of those things. There's cost involved. You have to rent a facility for another day, and fans have to travel for another day, and so there's a lot of things that go into it. And I know these conference tournaments are, important for each conference. I mean, look what Arizona does for the Pac-12 tournament. I mean, they bring fans, which generates revenue, which helps pay bills, and so I think we just need to take a step back and think about the player's perspective on that, and I would definitely be an advocate for a day off in a quarterfinal, semifinal, final scenario, however it works out.
I think we deserve a day off tomorrow. So.
No, we got film, we got practice, and you were 1 for 5 from 3, so we got shooting too. Lift with rounds. Let's go.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
your time.
Thank you.